Giulia is finished.
Chelsea. Oh, no. And now Giulia setting her up. Down goes Green. New United States champion off the Northern Lights bomb. Giulia!
Doesn't look finished to me. Giulia is still one of the most sought after female wrestlers in the world, and alongside Stephanie Vaquer is currently considered in WWE to be the superstar with the most potential to reach the very top and carry the company in the future. Let's take another look at Giulia's early time in WWE up to today, and at the time of her upcoming debut, Giulia was totally over, as could already be seen from the reaction she received based on her mere presence at Stand and Deliver, a reaction that even surprised Giulia herself.
The surprises keep coming. One of the biggest international wrestlers, Giulia, is taken in Stand and Deliver.
Her debut finally came 5 months later at No Mercy, when she confronted the previously undefeated champion and NXT superstar Roxanne Perez, closing the show in a strong and memorable moment.
The rumors are true!
Giulia was totally over. This quickly led to a title match between Giulia and Perez on an episode of NXT, which Giulia was unable to win due to the return and interference of Cora Jade. However, she made up for it weeks later by winning the title at New Year's Eve, much to the delight of the fans.
We're through, second time, Northern Lights bomb! We have a new women's champion!
After Giulia had reached the top of the NXT universe, her standing changed with the introduction of another once-in-a-century talent, Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer, who had won the North American Championship at the same time, entered a brief feud program with Giulia, and rumors quickly began to circulate that Giulia was injured. These rumors turned out to be true, as she lost her title to Vaquer in a winner-takes-all match, bringing her 60-day reign to a quick end. Giulia returned just under a month later to support Vaquer, but on the same night, she initiated her heel turn by betraying her.
Giulia! When we thought we knew the answers, Giulia has changed the question for Stand and Deliver for the champion.
Giulia failed to win both the subsequent Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Championship and the No. 1 Contenders match against Jordynne Grace. That marked Giulia's last appearance on NXT, and on April 21st, she was called up to the main roster, where she interfered alongside Roxanne Perez in the match between Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer, only for Giulia and Perez to then lose a tag team match against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Even at this point, Giulia had already lost a great deal of momentum, while Vaquer's star continued to rise. Giulia was introduced as the newest member of SmackDown, where she entered a short feud with Zelina Vega and captured her first main roster title with a United States Championship match.
Zelina is down! The Northern Lights bomb brings her the champion! Giulia!
From there, however, things went steadily downhill, as she first found herself in inconsequential matches, before surprisingly losing her title to Chelsea Green on an episode of SmackDown with no prior storyline build.
Head of fire and a roll like Green. Shoulders down, using the rope. This is one of the greatest moments in sports.
After that, Giulia increasingly faded into obscurity. Not only did her match time decrease, but her promo time was also reduced, which was already difficult due to her limited English skills. WWE attempted to respond by pairing Kiana James with Giulia as her manager, and at that time Kiana James had already spent several weeks on the main roster without receiving any on-air time, as WWE did not have major plans for her. Bringing the two together therefore made sense, as James could serve as Giulia's manager and handle the promo work for her. However, even together with Kiana, the two received very little promo time. Another major issue was that Kiana herself was also largely unknown to main roster fans at that point. This resulted in a team consisting of Giulia and Kiana, two wrestlers who were neither popular nor familiar to the audience, which naturally led to very little attention. The low point for Giulia and Kiana came during a SmackDown episode in December, when they received absolutely no reaction during their entrance.
Revenge in tag team action. Well, last week she knocked.
Still, this does not seem to be the end, as WWE clearly continues to have faith in Giulia alongside Kiana James. In the first SmackDown episode of the new year 2026, Giulia very surprisingly managed to regain her title from Chelsea Green. This strongly suggests that WWE still has big plans for Giulia and is willing to reset her momentum.
And now Giulia setting her up. Down goes Green. New United States champion off the Northern Lights bomb.
New Women's United States champion.
Shortly after the match, Giulia tweeted that she is ready to take on any challenge and defend the title. WWE will likely move forward with a classic US Open Challenge concept featuring Giulia, aiming to win the fans over through high-quality in-ring performances. In my opinion, that alone isn't enough, and Kiana James also needs to be given more spotlight. She's already proven her in-ring abilities in the past, not only during her time in NXT, but now as well on the main roster through her tag team matches with Giulia. The team should not be split too early, and Giulia should be given a proper title run to help establish not only herself, but Kiana as well. Giulia still has the star power, the look and presence to become a major star, and Asuka and Io Sky have already shown that top-level English skills are not always necessary to be successful in the WWE. What matters most now is that WWE does not ruin this run, because this may be Giulia's last major opportunity. Otherwise, she risks falling into the same kind of irrelevance as Shinsuke Nakamura, another wrestler from Japan, whom a lot was once expected. In recent months, it has also become clear that WWE has been trying not only to establish Giulia in the fans' minds through its own shows, promos and matches, but also to market her more strongly through various external appearances outside of WWE. One example of this is Giulia's appearance on Bully Ray's Busted Open podcast, where she not only talked with him about her goals in NXT and her dream matches, but also about her life in general and her Italian roots, which Bully Ray shares as well. It was a very likable podcast episode that showed how well Giulia can work as a babyface when she's presented and marketed to the fans in a more personal and authentic way.
He's from Italy, right?
Sì, mio padre è italiano.
Yes.
Sì.
So, and my family is from Italy too.
Oh,
Did your family from Roma?
sì, Roma.
And my family from Sicily.
Oh, cool.
So maybe later we talk Italian.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Is it too late for Giulia? Definitely not. Even though WWE has done a lot wrong and temporarily killed Giulia's momentum, there's still plenty of time to turn things around. With Kiana James by her side, Giulia also has a top-tier manager who can not only handle promos for her, but is also a very capable in-ring wrestler herself. However, WWE needs to present both of them more convincingly to the fans, and to achieve that they need more in-ring promos, more on-air time, and above all, more high-quality matches against more credible and stronger opponents, so matches that they simply have to win. In addition, a future tag team feud with the current women's tag team champions Io Sky and Rhea Ripley could also be very interesting. Winning the tag titles would definitely establish Giulia and Kiana as stronger competitors in the division, before Giulia eventually continues her singles path after a split and sets her sights on the women's championship. Alright, what do you think about Giulia? Will she be able to become the next star in the WWE, or will she become another big disappointment? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe and have a nice day.